What is going on? I'm zmoT coming to you live in 1080p. Check out that detail. Hopefully it looks good. Trying to tweak the audio, trying to tweak the video. Hopefully it all comes out. I hate tweaking things, but I love tweaking things. It's this weird... Anyways, hopefully this looks good. Anytime I travel, I come home and I plug things back in and I'm not happy with it. So I end up spending way more time on it than I probably should. Anyways, let's get into the beautiful day that is Imitation Game. Copied the most formidable mercenary bases of the archipelago. Let me know how you say archipelago. Does that sound right to you? Anyways, we're going to be using Grens and Medics. And the reason for this is that you can actually beat a lot of bases without a lot of difficulty using Grens and Medics. And when people first get Grens and Medics, they think these things are trash. They just miss all the time. I'm hopefully going to show you that they're not trash. I feel like I don't give them enough love, and I need to make an intro to Grenadiers. So I'm going to do that in the next week or 2 or 3. I guess it depends when Warships comes out. I'd like to do it soon, but if Warships comes out, that's out the window. Grenadier intro can wait. Obviously, Warships cannot. I'm on the edge of my seat at this point. They've said early 2019. They've said, no, they didn't actually say early April. They said April, and then they said Mega Crab early April, which they can't do Mega Crab without Warships. And the reason for that is, my understanding is they have to like add a trophy or add Mega Crab or add the legend. I think what they call them, legendary trophies. I think they called them. So I mean, Crab is not coming without Warships. And they said Crab's early 2019, so it's coming. It's gotta be here any day now, right? That has to be before May. They couldn't go... March is not going to have its own Crab. March had February's Crab, so... I mean, it's gotta be here by May. So at the very, very worst, we're looking at a month and a bit, so... I'm hyped though. Warships. A lot of people out there giving it grief, and like I see a couple people that just keep making the same arguments over and over again. At least make new arguments if you're going to grumble. Or maybe just chill out for like a month and a bit. We shall see. Grenadiers. Now, obviously Grenadiers, all you really need to worry about is boom cannons on these low level stages. On these low stages, 1 or 2 might sneak forward into those cannon ranges, but just throw a shock at the very beginning. And Everspark's critters, always Everspark's critters for me. I am not a Kavan with Grenadiers guy at all, and some of you might like it, but it's not for me. Like, Everspark is just so handy. Getting rid of that mortar, easy peasy, lemon of the squeezy. And look at this. The only thing is, they're not quick. If you want to clear your map with Grenadiers, you will not lose many troops, but you will have problems with timeouts. So you have to be a little bit careful as far as where you use your GBE, and I like to use mine to clear a nice little hole. You can also bring a boat of Zookas with your Grenadiers if you really have to. But that's pretty rare you actually require to do that. And when I mean bring it with, I mean bring it at the end after, you know, when your Grens are just throwing and missing at the HQ and there's nothing left on the map, that's when you drop your Zookas, not beforehand. And most importantly, make sure you scout, because I should have scouted before and seen this Doom Cannon here. But on the good side, we should, if we shock well, be able to get, oh, see that shock? Boom Cannon got a hit in. And on top of that, the shock launcher got a hit in. So not a great timed shock whatsoever. But now we should be in good shape now that we got rid of all that stuff up the front. I am just making a mockery. This is a terrible attack. I think I've lost, what's that, 1, 2, 3 Grenadiers at this point. Just poorly timed shocks. Poorly timed GBE usage. So it's more of a, this is why I try to do a bit of a warm-up, because sometimes I just, if you don't use a troop for a while, Grenadiers are one of those troops where you can really, really screw up when you use them, and losing troops is never a good time. Not everyone has endless reserves, so I try to orient these videos towards players that don't, because that way if you do have them, you're just going to save yourself some gold. It doesn't save you time, obviously, but at this point, we're good. I mean, they're going to walk up and get some extra GBE on the right. Everspark's critters are going to keep us safe, and Stage 4 is going to go down. Lost way, way too many troops there, though. Probably, maybe could have possibly used smoke on the drop. Dropping Grenadiers under smoke does definitely not hurt. Usually a good idea to try. I just got over cocky, and down went my troops. Anyways, that's it for stage number 4. Let's finish using our GB. Obviously, our GBE is going to kill our critters, but Everspark makes critters like nobody's business. Here we go. Stage 4 down. Hopefully this looks and sounds good. Please, please, more feedback. I really like it when you guys actually said yesterday's video that the sound quality sucked, because I knew it was going to be bad. I just didn't know if you guys were going to notice or not. I didn't actually know it was going to be bad, but I had a feeling that it might be. That was poorly worded. Now, Grappler's going to use a bunch of my GBE, so whether I choose to use Grenadiers or not, we're going to use them. Don't really recommend Grenadiers versus Grapplers, just because typically Grapplers have quite a bit of health, and low-level GBE does not do a lot of damage. So, as you can see here, oh, I got a big sneeze coming. Holy. I will do my best not to explode your eardrums, but I can't make any promises. That's even worse, though, when you have a sneeze coming and then it doesn't actually show up. So rather than worrying about shocking that grappler, we're just going to get rid of it. We can deal with the occasional rocket launcher. Grenadiers have quite a bit of health. I only have level 1 Grenadiers here. If you're just joining us, this account has very, very low Grenadiers. It also has very low level medics. So if I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing that I am doing that is super duper spectacular. Just letting Grenadiers throw and miss, and you end up farming tons and tons of GBE as a result. So I'm just going to shock that machine gun, specifically trying to keep my critters alive, and at the same time my Grenadiers are going to miss, and while they miss, we're going to pick up a little bit of extra GBE in the background. So now that that's out of the way, let's move on over. Actually, you know what? Let's not go quite so far. Let's get rid of that rocket launcher right there while we're in the area. I'm going to keep that back rocket launcher shocked. Now, you may not have to do that. I do not have troop health. Troop health really, really does help Grenadiers. But the thing is, I just don't know how much damage those rocket launchers do. And having 2 of them, I mean, or actually 3 of them. There's one over on the left-hand side hitting us as well. Not usually a good idea to try and get hit by 3 rocket launchers at the same time. So we're actually going to get rid of the shock launcher. That machine gun's going to help us hit the rocket launcher. So not overly worried about the rocket launcher. But at the same time, that boom cannon right there is going to be a problem. Now, one of the things I have not been doing very well in this attack, with Grenadiers, it's all about looking forwards. You want to see which buildings are going to hit you. Low battery. When you have low battery. And as you can see here, I am having problems because I don't have any GBE left, and we're now at the headquarters. We should be able to get this down. Everspark's critters are just so useful at this point. Distracting boom cannons, distracting snipers, all of those things are very, very likely to one-shot our Grenadiers. So by having our Everspark's critters walk towards them, they're going to keep our troops alive, which that's kind of the whole point of this game, right? Is to keep your troops alive. I guess that's actually not true. So endless reserves means that you don't necessarily have to worry about that so much. In case you didn't notice, I was just thinking over the weekend about how much endless reserves has changed this game, and that it's a big deal. Endless reserves, when those came in, I guess it's called instant training now, I suppose. Just so good. If you haven't tried it, please do give it a shot. Or actually, you know what? Or don't. Once you try it, you can never ever go back. because it's that much fun with it. So I'm rambling, but doesn't that look fantastic? 1080p, good, hopefully good audio quality. I just really hope that since I don't have face cam, we might as well make everything else look perfect. That's kind of my general thinking here. Look at those explosions flanking the headquarters. Grenadiers throwing huge potato mashers, as they're called, potato masher grenades. Down goes stage 5. I'd really like to get stage 6 and 7 as well. We'll do our best, but I find that I often fail when it comes to Grenadiers on stage 6 or 7. Just overthink it and overcomplicate it. So we'll try and keep it super simple today. Shock blaster, going to be difficult. This boom cannon's going to be a bit of an issue, but otherwise we should be able to get this down. This person has 3 ice, and they are an HQ 21. So we're talking about an HQ 18 versus an HQ 21. So fairly standard matchmaking you would probably get as an HQ 18, unfortunately, but these things do happen. So now, Grenadiers, the beautiful thing about them is they don't take any GBE to use. So you can get rid of things like this shock blaster right here. We can get rid of things like this shock launcher over here. And if we have no GBE when we drop our troops, that's okay too. Especially on a base like this, where our troops should be able to get over in here, and we should be able to get a whole bunch of free GBE before we get in any buildings ranges. And hopefully, there's that rocket launcher doing a lot of damage to us. So definitely want to get rid of at least one more rocket launcher before we get too far along. Everspark's critters being nice enough to clear the mines for us. Now, the problem is my low level Grenadiers do not last terribly long against any sort of mine. So we also have to be very cautious about which mines we hit, because HQ 18 versus max level mines and max level rocket launchers and some ice can get a little bit dicey for sure. Okay, as soon as that machine gun goes down, we're a little bit low on health, but so far not bad at all. Gonna get a shock out just in the hopes of getting some of our critters to stay alive. Flamethrowers and critters, not a great combo, but hopefully, come on. Everspark's critters going in the general right direction. If you're wondering what the heck I'm doing right now, I don't want my troops to go left. That boom cannon is going to be a problem. So we're going to come back to the right instead, throw a medkit, hoping to get rid of... Now, so realistically, our only concern right now is that shock launcher now. Having only one shock launcher to deal with, we should be okay. Our Grenadiers are going to get a bunch of GBE. Our medics can hopefully overheal that rocket launcher on the right. Oh, it's going to be so close, though. Might as well go for a soda. Someone must know that song. Please, someone know that song. That was I think that was one of my first ever concerts, actually. There was like 4 drum kits in the back, and it was opened by Trooper. Someone out there must know who Trooper is. That's old school. My parents took me to concerts when I was very young, and I do not... I feel like my hearing was definitely affected because I turned music up way too loud even still. But let's carry on. Come on, let's go. Now, Grenadiers, that shock launcher, this is what, when I was talking about running out of time with Grenadiers, this is exactly what I was talking about. So I'm going to hit the hack button, really hope that we can get rid of that shock launcher. And now that that shock launcher is gone, we should be in fairly good shape because our medics can heal properly, our Grenadiers can throw properly, and we should be able to get this headquarters down. If not, I'm going to be very sad. I feel like it should go down, though. Should is not really the word that you want to use, but we're going to try our best. It's going to be so tight on time. We've just wasted way too much time standing around, getting shocked by that shock launcher. So I need to move closer to the headquarters. The closer you are to the headquarters, the less they miss. The only problem is the closer you are to things like that boom cannon back there. So I really need them to take out this headquarters, and I don't think it's going to happen. So this is about when you would drop those Zookas I was talking about. Just a sad trombone at the moment. This is not the way it needs to go. But I guess it's kind of... educational, because you can see what I was talking about as far as Grenadiers missing. That shock launcher on the right-hand side just held us up for way too long. You could see as soon as it was gone, we did tons and tons of damage, but lost too many Grenadiers, did not have enough. But we should be able to hopefully take down stage 7 using nothing but level 1 Grenadiers, I hope. We're going to walk right over into here. We will get a barrage on the boom cannon, a barrage on the flying cannon, rocket launcher, sorry, I just not sure why I had cannon stuck in my head. And then we're just going to clear all of the buildings around just so that our Grenadiers can get nice and close. Like if you stand right up close. Now, the thing is, you don't want to stand too close because your Grenadiers will throw at themselves and play hot potato. So don't flare terribly close. And by the way, if you understand all of this and you're just watching to say, hey, well, that's cool too. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, I'm sure everyone who's watching this has used Grenadiers. My only hope is that I can say something that makes you think, maybe I should try them, or, hey, I never thought of that before. So, warships, coming soon to a theater near, hopefully a theater. I would love to see some warships ads. That would be, like, just such a breath of fresh air, I think. But I don't think my Grenadiers are going to be able to get this down. That shock blaster at the back there has 30,000 health. That's going to be a ton of GBE for me. The only problem is, what else do I have? Like, this rocket launcher is going to wreck me. So it's going to be a problem. We're going to try to smoke our Grenadiers to the back, and I'm not overly confident we'll be able to get this down. There's a lot of damage coming from the front. There is that shield generator, and as you saw, we ran out of time pretty darn quickly. So I don't really know if I can even take this down, but we're going to try just to be on... I mean, you have to try, right? We shall find out. Now, I don't actually know what the right answer is here as far as if I should be using my GBE on that shock launcher or shock blaster, or if I should be doing something like saving my GBE for shocks. So if you have an opinion on whether I should be using my GBE for shocks, or if I should be using it for, what am I trying to say? For actually barding out the shock blaster, please do let me know. I never can figure out what that balance is. Probably should need to do some math on that maybe. I think I'm going to save it for shocks just because there's a lot of health on that thing, and I'm not entirely sure that I could take it out otherwise. So we're going to throw a shock right about now, hoping to get all of our Grenadiers back there and just throw, dudes. Get them chucking at that, what is that called, mortar, and get my critters out front. And now we're just going to hope and pray and thoughts and prayers all the way up into here and hopefully take this down, because as you can see, we're getting just absolutely wrecked. Like, if we have to be able to bard out not only the rocket launcher, but also these shock blasters, because any sort of damage, we're done. I mean, I don't think we have any shot at this point, because we don't have enough GBE for a simple shock, and maybe Everspark can come save the day. I kind of doubt it. Maybe, oh, I was really hoping she was going to get that shock launcher, but it looks like I just wasted the GBE. So I don't know if you saw that or not, but hit the shock or the hack button, and then she died. The worst possible timing. I really, really hate it when that happens, when you use a hero ability and then your hero dies. Complete waste of GBE. Huge, huge, sad trombone. Probably could have got it with one more attack, but just using 2 attacks on stage 6. Not the answer. So, I mean, pretty good for, let's have a look and show you the stats, what we're talking about. That was level 1 Grenadiers, level 2 medics. So, getting 6 stages down is pretty darn good for that. I feel like unboosted. So maybe you want to boost. Maybe you want to use those as an example of which stages to do a little bit differently. Maybe you want to use like Zookas or Warriors on stage 6 and then Grens for stage 7. Maybe you don't even attack Imitation Game and you're just waiting for warships. Anyways, please do hit me up in the comments. Say hello. Let me know what you think about the audio and the video quality. Hopefully a little bit better than ever before. I kind of doubt I can get the video and the audio in one video. But maybe. Anyways, that's it for me. 1080p, Fancy, fancy. I'm zmoT. As always, thanks for coming in. Talk to you soon. Peace.